Well, good morning. Today we're in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, and we're in unfamiliar territory. Most of us know something of the earlier chapters and maybe the end chapters of Revelation, but this is where the middle begins, and between chapter 6 and 16, there's a series of unfolding judgments that come in terms of six seals that are opened. The seventh seal turns out to be 7 trumpets, and the seventh trumpet, 7 bowls. And there's a few interludes along the way. But basically you've got a series of visions that unfold God's judgment being revealed on the earth because they've rejected the Lord and they've persecuted his people. And in chapter 6 are 4 riders who are called into the earth by the living creatures around the throne in order to execute judgment. They come on horses with different colours: white, red, black and pale. They symbolize different things. They symbolize death, war. They symbolize famine. And ultimately, they symbolize the complete vindication of God's people. Because although the world experiences judgment, the church is experiencing martyrdom. In the 5th seal, we see a vision of those who've laid down their lives for the Lord underneath the altar. They've already sacrificed their lives, and from there they are calling out to God. Now, there's something really important for us when we study prophecy, biblical prophecy or modern prophecy. John doesn't just have a vision of something brand new, disconnected from what has gone on before. In fact, the 4 riders correspond to a vision that Zechariah has in chapter 1. And Ezekiel in chapter 14:21 speaks about the 4 judgments that come upon the earth. It corresponds to what John is saying here. John has studied the prophets and has drunk in their spirit, and now he's shaping his thoughts in line with theirs. And those who've laid down their lives for the Lord express their faith in a prayer for vindication that's rooted again in the Old Testament, in Psalm 79 verses 5 to 10. So whether it's ancient prophecy or modern prophecy, being rooted in the biblical thought world is something that is really helpful. Then in the end of this, we get this kind of vision of a cataclysmic. The 6th seal opens and it says, there was a great earthquake. The sun became black as sackcloth. The full moon became blood. The stars of the sky fell to the earth as a fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale. The sky vanished, a scroll, like a scroll that is being rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved. This isn't literal geography and astronomy. This is what it looks like when God intervenes to bring world history to a close. Each one of these images has an Old Testament beginning, and John has studied and meditated on the scriptures, and the way that he expresses his picture of how the end will come about is rooted and grounded in the Old Testament scriptures. The response to these judgments is that the kings of the earth hide in terror in the mountains and in the rocks, and they call on the mountains and rocks, fall on us from the face of him who is seated on the throne and the wrath of the Lamb. What we see here is that God in his glory, in his holiness, will bring judgment. And it's a time of universal fear, because what people fear most is not death, but the one that they must face after death. They fear him whom they have opposed in life. And the vindication of God's people will realize the judgment of those who have opposed God and opposed his people and his purposes on earth. Let's be a people who are confident that although we may suffer and die for our faith, in the end, God will have his way and he will bring all things to a close.